Welcome to the live energy work that we're going to be doing today. So the way that this is going to work is that you can feel free to request an energy reading from me. That's basically consent for me to tap into your energy remotely, to read what comes through. Everything that comes through is designated by your higher self. Whatever your higher self deems most important or pressing at the moment is what will come through. I may pull cards, I may tune in clairvoyantly, I may do both. It's whatever I'm guided to do. Feel free to leave an energy exchange. I really appreciate that, and it helps me to see who is looking for their energy to be read. You can do so by using the super chats or the super stickers down in the chat area. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. We've done something similar to this before, where on the 11/11 portal, I took some time to do some energy readings for you guys who were there live for the reading. If I'm not able to get to all of the readings that are requested today, just know that I will be sending Reiki out remotely, but I'm going to try and make sure to not take on more than I can energetically handle at one time today. So yeah, we'll just kind of roll with it and see how this goes. I'm still kind of testing this out and working with doing these kinds of live readings for you guys. I just figured it would be a nice kind of addition because I work a lot one-on-one with clients, and I think that that takes up a lot of my time, and that my prices are, you know, substantial because the energy work that I do is so transformative, and it does take a lot of my personal energy reserves to channel that kind of energy. So I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to have a space where you could have something affordable that would help you to see into your energy in a way that you didn't have to commit to the whole $300 session or $200 session or whatever. So that being said, if you guys do want to book a session with me, you can find all of my services on ToKittyandBeyond.com, and I will leave that linked in the description box, and I'll put one in the chat here as well once we get going. All right, so we've got a few so far. It's interesting because I saw one come up there. I'm going to do my best to try and see these comments as they come in. Sometimes it gets kind of wonky. I thought I saw somebody before that, but I'm just seeing Johnny Spa 27 has requested an energy reading. Oh, and by the way, guys, if I'm not able to get to yours and you're requesting one, but I'm not seeing it because it doesn't have a donation sticker on it, just know that anything that comes through may apply to you as well. So Spirit will often speak through other people and the messages that come through for them. So pay attention to what comes through for everyone and see if something resonates, because sometimes that's how Spirit will find their messages and get them through to you. Okay, so, all right, Johnny, let's go ahead and look into your energy and see what's going on. I'm just going to ground myself down really quickly. Anchoring my energy to the earth and connecting up to source in preparation. Okay, and I've tapped into your energy before, so I kind of know energetically what you feel like, but let's just take a look and see what comes through today for you, Johnny Spa 27. Okay, so I'm seeing a heart chakra connection. It's not to a person because it's going up. So usually when there's one to another person, you know, for example, like a soulmate or a soul connection of some kind, it's usually straight out like that. But what I'm seeing is that it's going from here all the way up. So it looks like it's going up to the divine or something. So let me just tune in again and see, because I'm not really sure where this is connected to. Yeah, it looks like someone on the other side. So let me just see. Because usually if it's a guide, I'll see them clairvoyantly. Sometimes if it's a loved one, sometimes I'll see them physically as well, or I'll just kind of get an energetic signature of them, but I'm not really seeing that right now, so I'm not too sure what this is. It's going up into kind of like the ether, so let me go up there and meet it, because maybe that's what's necessary. So I'm going to move my energy up along this stream of energy that's coming out from the heart chakra and ascending up. Oh, okay. So it's, I mean, technically speaking, it is a loved one, but it's your higher self. So yes, that is a loved one that's very dear to you. And I can see that, but essentially what I'm seeing is that this is one of your dominant energies. So when I do soul realignment work, we talk about the primary energies of the soul, and basically each soul has a unique blueprint energetically that they work with, and some souls will have dominant energy in one particular sort of way of expressing it, and that will fall into a type of category. There will be functional and dysfunctional expressions for that energy. So Johnny, what I'm seeing is that your energy is connected, your primary energy is connected through the heart chakra, which is the archetype of divine love, the gift of divine love at soul level. So your higher self is wanting you to be aware of this. And it's interesting because the last live that we did, where I connected to your energy, we saw something to do with the hands was coming up. They kept just showing me the hands, working with the hands. And that's really interesting because when you have a soul type that is primary in that fourth chakra energy, that means that you are a naturally gifted healer, that you have magic hands, basically, that you can channel energy through your hands. Everyone can do this, but people with this as their primary soul type energy tend to be naturally gifted at it. It comes in very powerfully when it's activated, and you're often kind of guided into areas of focus in your life purpose, your life mission, etc. Where, yeah, spirit fingers. I love it. Pretty much, yeah, exactly. You've got spirit fingers. You've got spirit channeling through your heart center, which then goes out through the hands. That's how we do Reiki as well. So those who are trained in Reiki will know that it channels through the whole energy system, but it primarily comes out through the heart chakra and the hands. So being a soul type with the fourth energy center, energy of divine love, you may have a secondary as well. You probably do, is what I'm feeling. However, the primary is what they're emphasizing. So the themes of this are to really focus on what you can share unconditionally, holding sacred space for yourself and others, healing through the divine energy of love, which is very naturally giving and unconditional. Now, the thing that you want to watch out for is the dysfunctional expression can show up as a lack of boundaries entirely, giving too much to the state of depletion or to, the creation of martyrdom or self-sacrifice, which is not what you want. So people with this as their primary energy often have to learn to set healthy boundaries and understand that boundaries aren't selfish, boundaries are necessary, boundaries are connected to unconditionality because it's being unconditional with yourself. And then that allows you to meet other people at that higher heart-centered connection, vibration, and within relationships that can be really nice and healthy when there's interdependency rather than codependency. Burnt creatively at both ends before. Yeah, so the primary energy being in the fourth center, it is a very creative energy. It's focused on healing. It's focused on expression. It's focused on communication from the heart. And I know that you're an artist. So for those of you who don't know, Johnny Spa 27 is the handle of the art that I think your actual name is Alex creates online on Instagram. You can check it out. Beautiful, amazing artwork of race cars and Formula One vehicles, things like that. Really cool stuff. But yeah, so basically you want to focus on the energy of how you're channeling through the heart chakra. That's going to be kind of the dominant message here. That's what's coming through anyway. So I'll see if there's any closing statements for you, Johnny, or what's needed. Oh, I see what they're saying. Okay, hold on. They want me to do a heart chakra activation to help some of your gifts come more online, because you're already working with them to a fairly high degree, but there's even more that's kind of still behind the curtain is what they're showing me. So we're going to bring that in. Okay, so for Johnny, I'm just going to, yeah. Okay, so basically what it is you don't actually need an activation, was what they're showing me. It's more of just an attunement. It's a little tweak to the heart chakra to allow more of your natural vital force energy and your natural skills and gifts and talents with this primary soul type energy to come through the heart center. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm just holding the energy right sort of over top of the chest area. And using, actually the symbol I'm using now is not necessarily for attunement. It's kind of more for you having the you having the key that unlocks your own gifts, your own awareness, your own state of higher consciousness. So that's kind of what I'm being guided to use. It's not even like an external activation or anything like that. This is more something, it's just kind of giving you the flashlight to be able to see and then uncover your own gifts. It's kind of like showing you where to dig to find the buried treasure, essentially. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish up there in the heart center for you. And there we go. Yeah, so you might feel a little bit of sort of buzzing here or pressure. Just hold your hand over your heart. That can help to integrate and activate this energy. Deep breaths as well. The lungs are connected to the heart chakra. Okay, good, good. You did good. All right, Johnny, thank you so much. So, okay, let me backtrack here through Savannah, beautiful Savannah, who makes amazing sprays. She sent me these long time ago, and I'm still trying to I'm like rationing them now because I need to buy more, but I keep forgetting. But Savannah is a beautiful creator being who I've worked with many times, doing all sorts of different services, and she creates scented sprays and other spiritual toolkits for your enjoyment over at Vibe Tribe Notions on her Etsy shop. So, by the way, none of these things that I'm talking about are affiliations for Johnny Spa 27 and for Savannah, for Vibe Tribe Notions. These are just members of the community here, and I want to support them and their amazing work. So Savannah, let's take a look in and see what's going on here within your energy. I've worked with you as well on a client practitioner basis, so we've had private sessions before. So Savannah, let me see what's going on here with you. Okay, I'm getting like a vibration through the whole body for you, Savannah. So it does feel quite intense is what I want to say. I don't know if you've been feeling really kind of jittery lately, or you're feeling just sort of, oh, thank you. I don't know if you're feeling jittery lately, or if you're feeling kind of like strung out on the upper sort of energetic level. This could be more so like having energy activations and things like that, you know, where you're getting a lot of energy coming in all at once. And so so it is anxiousness. All right. And sometimes having energy activations come in can trigger anxiousness or anxiety as well. It can make your body feel really restless. It's like all of this energy has nowhere to go, and it's like running around in a circle in a cage kind of, you know, because your soul is this infinite, massive, amazing high vibrational thing, and it's not trapped in the body per se. It's just in the body like a vehicle, you know, you're in the body like you're in a car, but it can feel kind of constricting or limiting sometimes, especially when those activations come in. So what I'm seeing is that the reason your anxiety is acting up is because you have all this this energy that's flowing through you. So some of it needs to be kind of offset, some of it needs to be moved, anchored down into the earth, because it's swirling around in the system, which is not actually what you want. You want to use it for what it's there for, integrate what's needed, and then release the rest. You know, just like you eat food, you process it, you extract the nutrients, the vitamins and minerals, and then you excrete the rest. So you want to get rid of whatever you're not using. So we do need to anchor that. So Savannah, let's go ahead and do some grounding work now. So I'm just going to start bringing your energy down through the root chakra. There we go. Good. Yeah, it's like it's a lot of pent up energy. So it's all the way from your solar plexus down. So solar plexus is of course to do with your sense of self, your personal power, your motivation, can be connected to your gut as well, your instincts, your personal sort of motivation to want to work towards your goals, things like that. But in the reverse position, when it's not flowing appropriately, the solar plexus can feel either really, really tired and drained and lethargic and unmotivated, or in the excess energy, which is what I'm feeling for you. It's not that it's blocked, it's just that there's excess energy there that needs to be processed. It's that it's built up so much that now it's like you need to like run around. You're like the Energizer bunny, but if you're not moving a lot, if you're not doing a lot, you can't really burn it off. Over your channeling upgrades. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you don't want to take too much of that on. So if you're doing channeling work, if you're doing upgrades and things like that, again, use what you can as necessary and then release. So doing that right now is going to help as well. So I'm going to do some Reiki, some energy work here on the solar plexus, because we've got the anchor through the root now, which is already starting to filter energy out. That's not necessary, and I can see it's like it's all in the field. Like it's not just in the body; it's also in the energy field as well. So it can be one or the other. This time it's both. So we're just going to move that down and out as I'm continuing to do work on the solar plexus as well. So let me just focus there for a second. Yeah, there's a lot of energy here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start doing some clearing work here in the solar plexus. So just right in just above the navel there. I'm going to start picking out because it's like you've got a whole basket of stuff right here. So I'm just going to start picking some of that out and seeing how that looks underneath. I can get a better view of what the solar plexus chakra is actually looking like. How's it functioning? So what I do here is I kind of like I grab with the energy and then flick it away. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, it does need a little bit of work here in the solar plexus. It's not that it's blocked per se, there's no kind of major issues, but it's like it just looks dull. It looks dull, it looks tired. You know, it's like when you've been working so hard, you've been doing so much that you start to get like those bags under your eyes, you're just kind of burnt out a little bit. Savannah, that's what I'm feeling. Feeling a lot of shifts lately. It's been super intense. Yeah, so it just feels like energetically you need a break. you need a break, and this is like your personal power, right? So you don't want to be excessively using your personal power to the point of exhaustion. It's a balance between rest, rejuvenate, and then go, and then rest, rejuvenate, and then go. And sometimes we don't just need to do that like once a month or once a year or even once a week. Sometimes we need to do that multiple times a day. You know, go, 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 and then rest for an hour, and then go, 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 and then rest, or take a whole day and rest. But I know that you're a busy mom and you've got a lot on the go, and energetically you are, you know, like boom, boom, boom all the time. So Spirit is basically saying you need to prioritize your rest. You need to prioritize doing the energy work for yourself through grounding. Through releasing, through clearing, through relaxation. Super important, because that high density energy here is kind of swirling around and it's tiring you out. So you do want to ground and anchor that so that any of the excess isn't kind of continuing to disturb you or cause anxiety, things like that. And allow yourself to just be. That's really important. because the empowered expression of the solar plexus is being. It is doing as well, but what comes before doing is being. We need to be before we can do. So let me just see what else we can do here in the solar plexus. Just going to charge it up for you. That's all that's needed. So we're just going to charge it up. So I'm going to put some high intensity light frequency into the solar plexus, specifically in the front, which is the feeling center. So the front area is how you're feeling. The back is more so the will center. Your will is fine with this. It's more so the feeling aspect, Savannah, that is creating some of that density where it feels heavy, where it feels draining. So feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, feeling, you know, things that then disturb your energy flow and your ability to feel put together, grounded, capable, all of those things, because you are a superhero. Like, Savannah, you are a superwoman. And so it's like there needs to be balance, there needs to be rest. So I'm just going to charge the solar plexus up. But that being said, I want you to rest and not use all this energy to go, go, go and power through, because that's counterproductive in the long run. So take this energy and anchor, ground, relax, be, just be, okay? So here we go, continuing with the charging in the solar plexus. That's better. Okay, it's starting to release some of that tension already. I can feel it, like the right shoulder just dropped, you know, where you're like this, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can relax a little bit. So that's good, 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 good. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little more. Just breathing deep belly breaths for you. That's breathing into that solar plexus, charging it full of energy. Allowing yourself to feel and just be in the body, be safe in the body, enjoy the experience of being in the body without a focus on needing to actually do anything, just existing and honoring that point of focus, that perspective. Good, there you go. Okay. Okay, good job. That looks much better. And the spin is starting to go. So before it was kind of, it wasn't that it was blocked, but it was just so tired that it wasn't really pumping energy the way that it needed to. So now it's actually going, and that will help a lot in processing some of this energy and allowing yourself to be through the processing. Because most of the time when you're doing channeling and you're doing upgrades, it's really important not to go, go, go. There's a point where you need to stop, you need to just be, you need to process essentially. And if you try to push through that, it will kind of weigh you down as a result afterwards. So that's basically what they're recommending for you, Savannah. I really hope that helps and that you feel better, more able to relax and ground that energy so that it's not kind of swirling around and creating all this frenetic type of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back up and see who else donated here. Okay, Jatima Sai. I really hope that I'm saying that right. Okay, so I'm just going to disconnect from Savannah's energy. Thank you so much, Savannah. And connect to Jatima Sai. Beautiful name, absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's take a look. Wow, okay, right away, you have a very powerful, very bold energy. I don't know if you're a very outspoken person or extroverted or something like that. Even if you're introverted, you can be outspoken, but it feels like you have a lot to say, because as soon as I tuned into your energy here, Jatima, I'm seeing like a trumpet heralding, you know, and it's like getting attention and communicating and expressing, and it's like you've got this big booming voice is what they're showing me. So it feels like if you've got something to say that you haven't been saying, whether it's something that you're passionate about, something that you've just recently learned that you want to share, or something that you need to say to someone in particular, it's like there's encouragement there to do that. I do also feel like this could be a trait of your personality or your soul type or your soul expression as well, but there's definitely like a very sort of strong, bold, communicative energy that I'm feeling here, specifically from the mouth, from the throat chakra. So interesting here. Let me see what this is connected to. Yeah, so it's like you have a lot to say and what you say is important. So sharing what it is that you believe in, sharing what it is that you are interested in, what you're passionate about. If you channeling messages and sharing those as well. Oftentimes people who are natural born speakers or who have that as one of their soul dominant energies, which I do, by the way, as well. Not sure if that's what your energy is. We could check that, but basically the main message is about communication, so I'm just going to keep talking about that. But usually speaking, teaching, you know, getting up on your soapbox and having an outlet to express yourself is really, really important. And that applies to everyone to a degree, but especially if this is kind of something that your soul mission involves or that your soul type really needs to feel empowered. It's really important. So Jatima, I would recommend speaking up. Basically, that's what they're recommending. If you haven't been doing that, to actually speak up. And if you have, then they're confirming to you that that's a good thing to do for you, that expressing yourself is divinely guided. There's information that needs to come out. There's something about your voice as well. It's like it's got power to it. It's got oomph. it's got strength. And I feel like if you need to tell someone no, that they would listen, right? It's like you're very dominant or assertive. Or if you're not, then they're encouraging you that this is something that could help in a given situation or overall in your life. I'm not sure. So take that how it resonates. I will see if there's anything else that comes up. Anything else that's needed for Jatima? Yeah, okay, so they're showing me like swallowing your words. So don't swallow your words. Say what you have to say. Always come from the heart, right? First, before you speak, first think and address whether the vibration of what you're wanting to communicate is coming from the heart. Express what your needs are. Express what you believe. Express, like, stand up to somebody is almost what it feels like. If somebody is kind of taking you for granted or not acknowledging what you believe, or you feel like it's not safe, kind of like you're walking on eggshells around them. Could be in a work situation, maybe it's your boss and you feel like it's not your place to stand up and say something. But what they're recommending is that it's important to voice your opinion. It's important to speak up for yourself. It's important to speak your truth in your authenticity. That is the key here. So Jatima, Spirit is urging you very gently, lovingly, to empower yourself through speech, to communicate, to express what it is that you've kind of been swallowing. And if you're not sure what that is, then I would look to where you feel like you're unheard, where you feel invalidated perhaps, or where you are kind of letting things slide. If there's any built up anger or resentment, that's usually kind of a dead giveaway that, hey, look over here, there's something that you've been kind of pushing aside. Or swallowing is what the analogy or the metaphor that they gave me. So be open to expressing that in a way that feels aligned for you. And hopefully that will give you that sense of empowerment and authentic expression that your soul is really looking for right now and needing, because you've got this beautiful, strong energy. And so if you're not embodying that, then that's not your authentic expression. And when we don't express authentically, we can get into the dysfunctional or disempowered aspects of who we are at soul level. So we really need to stand in our authentic expression, to empower ourselves through love, to express our needs, to make sure that others understand us and that we understand them, and all of that. So hopefully that helps. I think that's all that they wanted to share with you there. So, okay, so I'm going to move to the next. Rainbow Love Light. Okay, so Rainbow Love Light, beautiful to see you here. I've seen you, your handle here before. Oh yeah, and we connected last time, didn't we? You had been talking energy. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just tune in and see. Okay. Oh, they want me to use one of the sprays from Vibe Tribe Notions that I mentioned before. I'm just going to really quickly cleanse Okay, so let me get in there to Rainbow Love Light. Yeah, there's that beautiful holographic, sparkly energy. It's very sort of Mintalkin. So although last time I was seeing your energy as kind of more like this holographic rainbow effect, you know, like when you aurify something. Now it's got more twinkles to it. It's more sparkly. It's like, you know, like that sparkle filter, sparkle on white on Instagram. It's like that. It's like everything's really, really sparkly. So let's see what that is about. It feels like refreshing. It feels renewed or something. So I don't know if you've just recently gone through some kind of a renewal or an energy refresh, because that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. So maybe you did some clearing recently for yourself, or you had some energy work done, or you've just been meditating and connecting more to yourself. It feels like you've rejuvenated in some major way, and they want to acknowledge your hard work with that. They want to acknowledge that what you're doing is effective and that it's what you need. So keep doing that. Let's see what else comes through here. They're emphasizing your heart chakra. So yeah, this is some kind of healing work that you're doing for yourself, maybe for others as well, but I feel like it's more sort of inward focused. There's a lot of love that you are exuding, and it's very magical, and it's got that sparkly quality to it. It's really a pleasure to connect with. Like, I enjoy it. Everybody's energy is different. It's like smells almost, you know. It's like there's different smells, or there's different textures, or there's different sort of looks, and each soul is beautiful in their own way, and it's just so interesting to see. But I love to see when I can tell when people are doing the work for themselves. I can tell when people are really standing in their light because they show up this way in spirit. And Rainbow Love Light, I want to say, like, I'm proud of you. I've never met you in person. I don't even really know, you know, who you are other than the name here, but it's like, I just feel this immense sense of pride. And I think that's coming from, and it's making me want to cry right now. I think this is coming from you, your higher self, yourself, your spirit guides, source energy. It's like, there's this immense sense of pride, like, you did it, you know, you're doing it. You've done something challenging or hard in some way, and you're seeing the benefits of it. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. You started your energy practice, energy healing. Okay, I just scrolled down. Sorry, I was back up there and I scrolled down in the comments. You started your energy practice. Yay! I'm so happy for you, Rainbow Love Light. It's really, really aligned with you. I can feel that. And it's lighting you up. Like, your energy is so sparkly, and it's like the twinkle in the eye of a small child who sees something that they love. That is what I'm getting from the energy. Like, that's the metaphor that I want to place over the type of energy signature that you're exuding right now, and it's absolutely fantastic. So let me see if there's anything specific that you need, or that we can work on, or any information that would benefit you. They want me to drink water because they keep reminding me, and I keep pushing it away, and they're like, drink your water. Spirit reprimands me when I need it. Thank you. I get dehydrated really easily and I forget. Okay, so let's take a look in and see what's needing to come forward for you. Yeah, I see a lot of success coming your way. And by success, yes, I mean, it's financial, of course, but it's an expression of the alignment that you're getting into, that you're stepping into. You're really kind of forging the path of purpose, is what they're calling it, forging the path of purpose. So it's not necessarily that each one of us has a purpose that we need to fulfill. It's more so, how do we create purpose for ourselves? What do we find is purposeful, or what are we passionate about? What makes us feel aligned and empowered? You know, all of those things. So Rainbow Love Light, what they're saying is that you are creating this beautiful purpose for you, for yourself. It's very aligned with who you are at soul level. It's going to support others as well. And so it's very much supported by spirit. You know, it's like you've got energy investors on the other side who are saying, you know, this is a really fruitful business. Because it's creating a lot of ripple effects of positive energy work, positive energy healing, and it's also helping you to be in your authentic expression, in your aligned, empowered soul aspect. So it's positive for you, it's positive for others, it's positive for the collective, it's positive for spirit. It's a win-win-win-win. So it's going to be successful because it's aligned, right? When something is aligned, it flows very naturally. It's much easier to see results more quickly. Now, that being said, something can be aligned and still take time. There still can be challenges, but it's like you'll be able to flow through them more easily. You'll be able to kind of move through any kind of learning or failures or setbacks or challenges in a way that helps you to grow, and you stay motivated, you stay hopeful, you stay in that state of personal empowerment. So I don't really see anything anything challenging coming. This is more so like they're really acknowledging the work that you've done to get to this point and the strength that it took to kind of stand up and put yourself out there in this way. And they're acknowledging and kind of giving you a little bit of a hint that there's going to be a lot of abundance coming, and not just physical abundance, but also, you know, there's this deep sense of gratitude. It's like you're exuding gratitude. It's like you're really thankful for what you're doing, for whom you're working with. It's just this really beautiful energy. And what does gratitude attract? More things to be grateful for, because like attracts like. Everything is just vibration. So you are very much in alignment, and that's basically what they want to acknowledge. So I just want to see if there's anything else that's needed. Okay, so they're showing me a future path. I would call it a timeline, but they don't want me to use that word for some reason, even though I just said it. They're calling it a pathway. And the reason that they're making that differentiation for you, Rainbow Love Light, is because it's not a timeline in the sense where when we think timeline, we think it's very rigid. But really, timelines fluctuate all the time based on our choices, based on our vibration, all of these different sort of contributing factors. So for you, they're calling it a pathway because it's more so like, it's like a goal that you're moving towards. It's more sort of this journey that you're on. And there's many different roads that you could take to get there, but you are really, you know, moving through that in a very sort of driven type of way. So what they're showing me to do is I'm going to project Reiki forward onto this pathway, basically just to support any areas where there's a bend in the road is what they're showing me. So sometimes it's not straight and narrow, right? Sometimes there's crossroads, there's hills, there's you know, the road has been washed out or there's a curve, right? So these are the kinds of things that I was talking about before. So what they're having me do here is we're going to send Reiki ahead in time to this pathway that you're on this journey, this goal-oriented sort of expression that you're moving through when it comes to your energy practice. And we're going to bless it, basically. Spirit is blessing it already, but we're going to do that consciously to contribute to that energy and that focus as well. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're just going to bless your path. Every step that you take is divinely aligned, divinely guided, and divinely timed. They're emphasizing that one, divinely timed. So any times that if along this path you feel as though it's taking too long, or maybe you've taken a wrong turn, no, you're exactly where you need to be at all times. Okay, and this really applies to everyone, but especially when you're in alignment, because you can really start to see the connections between all things, and you really start to attract what's actually empowering for you. But even when you're out of alignment, that's divinely timed as well, right? There's a reason for it. There's something that we need to understand with that experience. So blessing that path going forward, just going to send some distance Reiki to that timeline. I still just want to call it a timeline. They're like, okay, whatever, that's fine. All right. Basically, again, now they're showing me the yellow brick road. So follow the yellow brick road. It's like we're going to illuminate this path with Reiki, with blessings, so that it's very clear to you. And Dorothy had some challenges along the way as well, but she learned her power and she blessed those that were around her as well, through friendship, through connection, through support. So this is kind of the theme that I'm seeing for it's like you're going into the wonderful land of Oz and you're walking this beautiful golden path, and you will be given gifts and support along the way, and you will be successful. At the end of the day, you had the power all along, right? So that's what they're saying for you. So Rainbow Love Light, that's what they have for you today. Thank you so much for your generous contribution and donation. As you give, so shall you receive. Blessings, blessings, blessings to come. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm seeing some people, I'm getting notifications for some people who are paying on PayPal. So I'm just actually gonna take a second really quickly to open up my PayPal so I can see who's donating specifically through the PayPal app so that I don't miss you guys, because I see the ones that are super chats here and stuff first. So I just want to make sure that I'm seeing that there. Okay, so we've got Jordan Ulm. So I'll do these ones. Okay, so Jordan Ulm, let's take a look here and see. Yay. Okay. Okay, Jordan, right away, I saw somebody kind of being like, no, I don't want to. It's kind of like a kid who doesn't want to leave the party or something like that, or they don't want to put on their pajamas and go to bed. It's that kind of energy. It's like resistance, kind of digging your heels in and being like, no. So this is most likely an aspect of the ego, could be a component of the inner child as well. So you kind of want to look at where that is showing up for you. Let me just jump over to the live so I can see the comments here as well. So Jordan Ulm, where are you resisting? Where are you kind of digging your heels in or fighting against something that maybe is needed? Like, for example, if you've had too much birthday cake at the party and your mom is kind of ushering you to go home when you're a kid, it's like, it's probably for the best, right? Because otherwise you're gonna stay, you're gonna eat more sugar, you're gonna have a crash, you're gonna melt down, or it's time for bed, like you need to go to sleep. I know you don't want to, but it's gonna be good for you. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like life is kind of bringing you these things where you don't want to do them, but it's really kind of necessary, and it's really for your best interest. It's like spirit is on your side. Your higher self is just trying to support you with what you actually need. But it's like there's some aspect of it that is creating some kind of a resistance. And there's nothing wrong with resistance. Usually it comes from a place of like a lack of understanding, or sometimes the ego will resist because it fears, because it doesn't feel safe or something like that. So let me just take a look in here and see what we can do to help to kind of ease this resistance off if necessary. Actually, I'm not sure if that's what they're going to recommend, but let's see. Yeah, so okay, they're kind of bringing this like big warm blanket of energy for you, Jordan, down kind of over you to help to comfort. It's kind of like a security thing. So if we're talking specifically about the inner child here, this is an aspect of you from when you were young. We are layers of everything that we've ever been. So just because we're an adult now doesn't mean that we're not still a child. There's that aspect is still alive within us. So we need to honor that. And this aspect of you is in a bit of a resistance right now. So it needs your support, it needs your nurturing. And this will also help you to do what needs to be done. And that will benefit you really in the long run. So they're giving you this really nice blanket of energy. I'm seeing your guides around you. I see one specifically, there's an Arcturian, and I'm seeing it even with my eyes open. So it's like, boom, that's very clear. And there's another one as well that looks, actually that one's probably Arcturian as well. It looks similar, but a little different. So they're bringing you this warm blanket of security for your inner child to help to feel safe and trusting, so that you can move through the resistance with a little bit more grace, basically, is what they're showing. So let me see anything else that's needed there. Yeah, to pacify. I heard the word pacify, and then they showed me a soother. So it's kind of like to pacify this aspect of you so that, you know, you can carry it with you through the step that you don't really want to do, but doing it anyway, right? Like the parent kind of saying, you know, I'm tired, but this is what my child needs, so I'm going to do it anyway, you know? It's really reparenting, self-love, that kind of thing. So really beautiful. And you have these two Arcturian, I think primarily Arcturian guides that are supporting you. So that may be that you have a soul connection with Arcturus, or that your primary soul group of origin is there. Yeah, so basically just releasing some of that resistance to pacify, to find security in some way as well. So if you're not doing like the actual inner child work, which is kind of what we're bridging into here, but we're not going super in depth with it, I would definitely recommend finding some way to kind of connect with that aspect of you and pacify it in the way that feels most soothing, nurturing, and allows you to have that grace to move through that resistance, if that makes sense. So I hope that that helps. Let me just jump back to PayPal. I have Anne Spinola here. Okay, so let me grab some water and we'll see what comes through for you, Anne. So Anne Spinola, tapping into your energy now. Okay. Okay, Anne, I see it's like a weight has just kind of dropped off the shoulders here, and I want to say that it dropped off the shoulders, but it's more like it dropped onto the shoulders. It's like as soon as I connected with your energy, I felt this heaviness right on the shoulders. The shoulders for me signify burdens or responsibilities or obligations. This one feels more like a sense of responsibility than an external obligation that's required of you or a burden of some kind. It's something that you have taken on of your own free will. But I'm also seeing angel wings out the back, and angel wings represent to me an earth angel. So they're not necessarily literal, obviously, but even energetically, they're not necessarily literal. But they represent to me someone who in this life has chosen to be of service to others in some hands-on type of way, whether that's energy healing, whether that's food service work, whether that's charitable donations, whether that is raising a family. You know, there's so many different ways that this can present, and each one will be unique given, you know, what your soul wants to express or what your soul is gifted in. But what I'm feeling is that you are this type of earth angel soul where you feel a deep sense of responsibility for the healing of others or for the collective or something like that. That's usually what the archetype of the earth angel represents. It's a light worker, essentially, somebody who chooses to work within the light to spread love. So let's take a look here, Anne, and see what's needed. It feels like, again, they're showing me the shoulders, the weight on the shoulders. It's kind of like Atlas, you know, holding up the world. It feels like you've got this deep sense of responsibility for the world and its state of suffering, or for healing it, or whatever that might be. So I want to take some of that off of you, okay? I'm not going to, we don't need to completely remove that, because, you know, if that's what you want to work with, that's fine. It's just, you don't need to take on it all. And that's kind of what they're showing me, is that you're like, I'm only one person. How can I make a difference? What can I do? And that's a lot of responsibility to put on yourself. You know, just working with what you can do is the most important thing. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be, you know, extravagant. It can be humble. It can be mundane. And it still has the same power in the spiritual realm, in the metaphysical, as something, you know, okay, giving $1 to charity and giving $1 million, on the surface, from the 3D perspective, it looks vastly different. Energetically, it's the same thing. That's what they're showing me. So it's not to say that, you know, oh, let's just get away with donating the bare minimum. That's not what I'm saying here. It's like you have this will to give. You have this sense of wanting to share, this sense of wanting to contribute to the collective, to help in some way. And whatever way that feels aligned for you is going to be the best way to do that, basically. So Anne, if you're here or if you're catching it on the replay, let's take some of that responsibility off so that you can actually feel inspired and use those wings. Because if you've got too much weight on your shoulders, guess what? You can't fly, right? You need to have freedom to be able to spread your wings, to then actually be able to assist humanity. You can't get into the muck and get all dirty and then try to clean people, right? We need to stay within our light. Now, that doesn't mean creating separation. That means staying in your power so that you can shine the light for others to step into theirs. That's the way that we heal. That's the way that we empower. That's the way that we change the world. It's by shining our light, by being our personal embodiment of empowerment and helping others to do the same. By modeling the behavior, by modeling the changes that we would like to see in the world, by focusing on what we want to shift or change. So, yeah, because right now it almost feels like this heaviness it's been with you for quite some time. And it's not yours to bear, not yours to bear alone, I want to say. It's not yours to bear alone. There's many of us who are here, who are helping, who are working, who are doing little things every day, from smiling at a stranger to doing energy work, to helping to support those in need in any way. So you're not alone in this, and they just want to remind you of that, basically. So I'm going to help to kind of shift or lighten some of the weight that's been sitting there on the shoulders. Okay, you have a guide coming in on the right hand side. They just placed their hand on your shoulder. It's it's a masculine energy, but very soft. It's the divine energy of the masculine. And it feels to me similar to Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael can show up very sort of powerful and strong, but right now, this energy that I'm seeing, and I'm getting the feeling that it's something similar to Archangel Michael, or it is Archangel Michael. Oh, it is Archangel Michael. Okay, thank you for clarifying. Because at first I thought it was a guide, but I mean, in some way, Archangel Michael is one of your guides. So, Archangel Michael is someone whom you can work with to help to kind of alleviate some of this pressure, basically. And if you aren't already, or I kind of feel like you already are working with Archangel Michael, either consciously or unconsciously, but yeah, let's see what he would like to bring here. Yeah, he's just holding his hand. He's holding his right hand on your right shoulder. And it's like he's moving energy through the burdens that are here in the shoulder area for you. So there's a big release happening there, and that's good. So it's like he's taking some of that weight off. So thank you for that, Archangel Michael. Just knowing that you're supported is also something that he's wanting to let you know. And so you're supported. If you ever need help, call on him. So he's somebody who works closely with you, so you can connect with him like that, okay? So I hope that helps. I think that was everybody who donated over on PayPal. So let me jump back over here to YouTube, and let me see where I was last. Okay, so I'm not going to be taking any more for today, guys. So save the rest of the donations for next time. We will be doing this again. I'm just going to work with the rest of the people who are here. And to those of you who are wanting readings as well, like I said, be mindful of the information that's coming through for other people. Sometimes Spirit can hide little tidbits in there for you. But I will be doing these more regularly, and I will be announcing them here on YouTube and on Instagram. So let's continue. Alexander Salazar, I see you here. Let's take a look at your energy. So they're wanting me to charge my hands up. I just automatically started doing that, which I didn't do for any others. So we're going to do some Reiki today, Alexander. I mean, that's what I'm doing for most of these, but let's take a look and see what you need. Alexander Salazar. Amazing name, by the way. Sounds very, very wizard-like, very magical. And as I said that, Merlin, of course, the image of Merlin is there. So Merlin, also known as, I think Melchizedek is another word or name that he goes by. It's like the magician type energy. So being the magician, being the creator, being the wise one who has information, esoteric knowledge that you can apply in a sort of practical way to shape your physical reality. That's what I'm seeing here for you, Alexander. So let's take a look and see what's needed here, or what wants to come through. Okay, I see crown chakra, third eye being illuminated, these two areas, throat to a lesser extent, heart. I think primarily we're going to focus here up in the upper centers with the crown and the third eye. So let's go ahead and do some work there. It looks like your crown chakra is very active. I don't know if you probably do a lot of sort of creative inspiration, channeling and things like that, Alexander. It feels like there's a lot of stuff that you're bringing in at that sort of energetic level. It's like you've got this big cone on your head and you're just funneling in all of this knowledge. So pay attention to that, because that's also what Merlin represents, and Melchizedek. It's working with that very esoteric, spiritual, metaphysical knowledge, and it's being able to apply that in your life in a way that creates results. So it's being the manifester, being the magician. And it feels like you have claircognizance as well. Claircognizance is through the crown chakra. It's a type of extrasensory knowing. So it's where you just have these massive downloads of information. You don't know how you know something, you just know it. Whereas clairvoyance, you see it. Clairaudience, you hear it. Clairsentience, you feel it. Clairgustance or alience, you smell and taste it. Claircognizance is a little more elusive and hard to kind of peg down, because it's kind of like you know something without knowing how you know it. It can be also confused with like a gut instinct or a gut feeling or intuition, but it's more than that. It's kind of like, it's like they're showing me Neo in the Matrix when he just downloads how to fight karate or jujitsu or whatever he's trained in. It's like, well, boom, now I know how to do it. It's like that. It's like you didn't actually train in it in a physical sense, but you can just download it and then boom, now you can do it. So I feel like you have a natural gift or affinity for this, and you're working with kind of ascended masters or archetypes such as the magician to help you to integrate the esoteric information, the knowledge, the downloads essentially that you're bringing in, that you're anchoring. So listen to those information that come through, that are there to empower you, that are spiritually expanding and enlightening, and that are assisting you in manifesting or creating. I feel like there's this strong sense of purpose, but I feel like purpose isn't the right word. It's kind of like determination. I feel like you are determined to learn something, to know something, to express something. I don't know what it is, but I just get this feeling of determination from you, Alex. So let's see what's needed here. Yeah, it's like you're going to build it with your hands. You can physically see it. So you're taking things. Another thing that the magician represents, like in the tarot, for example, the magician card. I wanted to see if I could find it here really quickly. The magician card shows him pointing up, one hand up at the sky and one hand down at the ground, representing that he's the bridge between worlds. So he brings esoteric information from above and he anchors that into the physical. He makes it real. He makes it manifest. So this is the energy of a divine manifester. This is something that you are really powerful at. So Alexander, use this magician energy, connect to that archetype within yourself and allow yourself to be able to channel that information, that inspiration, that activation, whatever form that it kind of takes, and using that to create something physically. So it could be a project, it could be, you know, a hobby, it could be a work, I don't know, or maybe it's like a metaphysical manifestation, something that you're wanting to attract or create more in a sort of intangible way. Whatever it is, you have this really strong ability and determination to get it done. And that's what the magician is all about as well. He's focused. He's focused, he's determined, he's balanced, he knows what he's doing. And he's got the knowledge, the wisdom, and the results to back it up. So you will see results if you haven't already. Tap into that energy, work with that consciously, and be very clear and intentional about what it is that you're wanting to work with or what you're wanting to create, and you will see results manifesting fairly quickly. So that's what they're wanting to share with you there. We're going to do a little bit of energy activation, specifically in the hands is what they're wanting me to focus on for you. So Alexander, we're going to focus on the hands and put some energy in there to help to build something. It's like, I just see you like building something where it's like up and down, right? I just look like John Travolta, like I'm gonna do a dance or something. So what is that, Friday Night Fever? Anyway, you're bringing that energy down, anchoring it, and creating something physical out of something non-physical. So good work with that. Keep up the great work. Make sure it comes from the heart. You've been wanting to do YouTube, been afraid for a long time, feel like it's time. Yeah, it's time. The Magician is number one. It's a new beginning. So manifesting that new beginning, this is kind of like that nudge. That determination is not going to go away. It's there within you. So allow that inspiration to flow through you, channel those messages, create what you want to create physically with your hands. So get on the computer, start typing, you know, that kind of thing. If I can do it, you can do it, because I am so technically inept. So if I can do this, and I'm also extremely shy, introverted, extremely private person who's very sort of socially anxious. So if I can do this, Alexander, you can do this, okay? Sorry, my camera is dying, but hopefully we've got a little bit left in us here. So let's keep moving. Where were we? We were on Alexander. Now we're on Brandy Nicholson. Any message on the feelings of being stuck would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for the work you do. Oh, thank you so much, Brandy. I appreciate your support of my work. I love to do this, so thank you for allowing me to do it. Okay, so Brandy, let's take a look in and see, where is this stuckness coming from? Yeah, I feel it in the feet. Right away, as soon as I tune in, it's like you got heavy feet, and I see this sometimes with clients, and usually what I'll see in my mind's eye is it's almost like, and you're welcome, Alexander, thank you so much for your support. It's almost like I will see clients with like cinder blocks on their feet, you know, like when the mafia would like pour your feet with concrete and then drop you into the ocean. No, that's not going to happen, okay? But it's like a representation of having this very sort of heavy sort of stuckness, specifically in the root chakra, because this is what we're talking about when we're connecting to the feet. So Brandy, it feels like you've got some root blockages going on here that need to be addressed, that need to be cleared. So let's go ahead and take a look in here and see what we can do to shift this so that you can start taking steps forward. Because imagine trying to walk with cinder blocks on your feet. You're barely going to be able to just slide your foot forward, if anything, let alone take a step, right? So that feeling of stuckness is really permeating through your energy. And the root chakra is connected to your sense of safety, your personal body, your well-being in your physical self, your connection to your tribe, your home, your security, your financial security, your physical security. All of these aspects are connected to that. So let's take a look and see what we can do here to shift some of this heaviness. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm doing is shining light down onto the feet through the root chakra, activating through the upper part of the root chakra as well, like the base of the spine, so down through the legs, the whole thing. But I'm seeing some of your guides coming in, and now that you are acknowledging that you want to shift this and you're here to actually do that, they are stepping in, and I see someone, one of them is like kind of bent down next to your foot, and they look like they're doing this, like they're tinkering or they're like chipping away with a little chisel at that block of rock that is energetically surrounding your feet. I don't know why I put energy quotes around energy. Energetically, I meant like metaphorically, right? Because the cinder blocks aren't literally there, but they're chipping away at the energy cinder blocks there. So let's take a look. Yeah, just chipping away, creating cracks. So what I'm going to do, what they're guiding me to do, is to fill the cracks with light. So they're creating the room for this light to go through, and then the light helps to disperse some of that density. It helps to, if you think about like a chunk of sand that's kind of more solid sitting on a vibrating plate, when you start to vibrate the plate, it will start to break up. So that's what we're going to do now, is to break up these dense blocks that you have in the root chakra. It feels like these are more of like a protective mechanism Usually that's the case. So what does that mean? Well, essentially it's a way of trying to keep yourself in place, because there's a part of you, usually the ego or some aspect of the past self, where there's resistance to moving forward out of fear of what the unknown could bring. So spirit is there to support you in not only freeing yourself from these restrictions that you've inadvertently created, but also in empowering yourself through the knowledge that if you can create it, you can uncreate it. And the real sort of goal here is to work with that aspect of you that is in fear, that's resisting wanting to move forward, or that's creating unconsciously this density so that you don't have to. So you want to look to the unconscious, and now that's not going to be conscious, right? It's unconscious. So you want to identify feelings. You want to start to hold the magnifying glass over the feelings and the behaviors, because usually those will start to indicate what the subconscious is actually doing. Whereas the conscious mind is like, I want to move forward, I'm ready to go, I have all these ideas, but the subconscious is going, no, no, no. So it can create like a real tug of war. So we want to address that and consciously bring into your awareness where this subconscious resistance is coming from, or where this fear is needing to be seen, understood, supported, healed, right? Because through awareness, we can shine the light on fear and kind of remove some of the unknown aspects of it, which is what this fear is stemming from in the first place. It's the unknown. So I'm just going to continue shining light onto the areas in the root chakra here that are needing to disperse some of this dense energy. And I feel like there's an aspect in the heart chakra. This is where it is. It's fear of opening up. It's fear of kind of being vulnerable is what it feels like. So it could be connected to a specific relationship, because the heart chakra does govern our interrelational types of dynamics. But it really can be anything where you felt like you needed to kind of shut yourself down to protect yourself. Some experience you had in this life, could be past life related, but it feels more like it's from this life. It's more sort of present. And in that experience, you kind of learned, it's not safe to move forward, or it's not safe to be vulnerable, it's not safe to open up. So I'm going to keep myself anchored subconsciously without realizing that's what you're doing, in an effort to try and protect from the potential new things that are to come, or new sort of deeper, more intimate connections or something like that. So Brandy, freeing yourself from the weight within the root so that you feel safe is number one. And then creating safety within the heart, identifying where you didn't feel safe, where your needs were not met, or where that fear of vulnerability or fear of the unknown or fear of moving forward is really originating from. Because if you can find the root, or even just the feeling itself can be enough. You don't necessarily need to pinpoint the exact time and place and experience. It can be enough just to acknowledge and validate that feeling. That can be really helpful. So I would recommend doing some inner work for yourself through this. You can do some meditation, do some introspection here. If you need support with that, I would recommend a Reiki session. But if you're wanting to do this on your own, call in this guide. You've got one specifically that was crouched down there working on the root chakra. Call on that guide. That you don't have to call on them by name or anything like that. Just the intention alone to connect with that support is more than enough. So they're there, and it's kind of like it's a human-like guide. So usually, not usually, but I see all sorts of different kinds of guides. So I see, sort of stars, galactic being guides. I see like angelic guides. I see dragon guides. I see, and all these sorts of different things. But for this one here, he kind of looks more like a man. By the way, he's a male. I don't know if I mentioned that. He looks like a man. So this could be somebody who was incarnated before and now is not, and they work with you as part of your spirit team or something like that. Let me scroll down and see if you've said anything, because I can't remember. No, you haven't. Okay. But yeah, basically work with this individual. He has brown hair. This is in spirit, right? So he's probably either crossed over or you've never known him and he's just part of your team. But yeah, brown hair. He's got a friendly sort of big smile on his face. And he feels like he's like a tinkerer, like he likes to work with his hands. He's very supportive of you. So anytime that there's a feeling of lack of safety, he has this very sort of benevolent, very nurturing type of friendly vibe to him. So yeah, connect with this spirit guide that's coming forward for you to help you to feel more safe. He's going to help with that. You have another one that's helping specifically with the clearing in the heart chakra. This one is different. The one on the left that I'm seeing the spirit guide there is much bigger, much more powerful. Not that they're more powerful or less powerful, because everyone's equal, but it's like the energy that this clearing one exudes is like, we're gonna get it done. It's very kind of strong, and he's tall, and I can't really see what shape or form he's in because he's not really showing up. It's just an energy signature. It's like a big sort of cloaked figure, but his energy is very loving, but it's very sort of to the point. Like, he's not going to sugarcoat it. So you've got one that's like, yeah, like, let's do the work, it'll be fun. And one that's like, let's do it. So work with both of those together. I think that's going to help to not only feel safe so that you can move forward, but also then to actually start taking the steps to move forward, to get that discipline there, because that's what that left guide kind of feels like to me. It's like discipline. All right, so healing the heart, clearing and anchoring the root chakra, freeing up energy in the root chakra, breaking those cinder blocks energetically so that you can actually start moving forward. That's kind of what's happened here today, and that you'll continue to do that on your own. Again, if you need support, reach out to me, let me know. Okay, so thank you, Brandy, for that. Let's see. Okay, we've got flow state awakening. Hey Siobhan, it's Sarah from Instagram. Been experiencing lots of solar plexus issues, blocks, super low energy, and fear-based intrusive thoughts as well. Would love some guidance on this. Okay, hi Sarah. Thank you so much for connecting and for being here on the live. Okay, let's take a look and see what's going on for you. They want me to cleanse really quickly. Love these sprays. Can't get enough of them. Okay, so Sarah, flow state awakening. Whew. Yeah. Okay. You got a lot of stuff going on in the mental body, like you said. I'm seeing it more in the third eye. This could be connected or having sort of symptomatic effects in the solar plexus, but they're drawing my attention immediately to the mental body around the head, specifically governing the third eye chakra. So it feels like those intrusive thoughts are what they're kind of wanting to get to. The intrusive thoughts might be triggering some of the fear and then the low energy and things like that. It's like it feels out of your control. And then that brings the solar plexus in, where the solar plexus governs kind of like that sense of control, that personal power. And these intrusive thoughts feel like they're out of your control. And so it depletes your energy in your solar plexus region. So I want to clear, do some clearing work here in the mental body. Yeah, it's like you've got some, these aren't even negative thought forms. These are, it looks like you might have some independent negative thought forms going on here. There might be more than one, or there might just be one that's kind of like going all over the place. Or you're just tuning into a lot. I'm not sure. I want to be more specific, but when I do like the full-on readings, it's like it takes me a long time, and I don't want to go too in depth into it, but I do want to do something. But I see like it almost feels like you're tuning into a lot of things mentally. So it's not that you need to shield. It's not that you need to protect. It's not that there's anything intrusive that's actually getting in. It's more so what you are actually connecting to, and that's all based on vibration. When you allow your vibration to be scattered, when you kind of, it's like disciplining your mind, and it's hard to do. It's one of the hardest things to do, is to discipline your thoughts, to observe your thoughts, to corral your thoughts, because our thoughts just tend to want to like go all over the place. They're like sheep in a field with no fence. And our job is to try and get those sheep into the pen, right? And to dictate, you know, oh, that's not a sheep, that doesn't belong in there. That's a wolf that goes out there, right? That doesn't belong to us. It's not helpful. So it's not that there's anything bad outside of you that's trying to get in. It's more so that what you focus on or what you exude or what you are experiencing is what you will create. So it feels like this scattered energy is a result of your mind needing some kind of stability. Like it needs some kind of a stable, and it's funny because it's like from Friends, you know, like when Ross moves in with Joey and Chandler and he's like, bring it down a little bit. It's like quiet your mind. Your mind is like loud and it's all over the place. And this can feel like it's out of your control, but it's actually not. It just takes some awareness and discipline. So I'm going to do some clearing here of some of the thoughts, vibrations that you've created and attracted. Yeah, it does feel like you have at least one independent negative thought form. So let me describe to you what that is. An independent negative thought form is it's a thought that we as a collective have fed so much energy to that it's taken on a life of its own, and it exists as a sort of entity in the astral realm. Now, that being said, nothing can connect to you, influence your energy, or get into your thoughts or anything like that unless there's resonance, unless you internalize it to some degree and you believe it and you experience it and you're welcoming it in at that vibrational level. So what I'm seeing here is that there's probably a thought with this vibration of, it feels like, hold on, let me just feel what the vibration of the thought actually is. I don't know. It's like it's running all over the place, so I can't get a read on it. If I sat down and actually did a reading on it, I would use the chart to dictate what is the actual energetic signature. But we don't need to know that right now. Basically, you just want to be aware that there's something that you've internalized that is kind of taking your power away from you because you're giving it away, right? So take that power back by being aware and mindful of your thoughts. So, yeah, let me just see what else is needed there. The solar plexus does look low energy. I can see that it's dull. So yeah, you're right. That is dull, but it's a product of the energy in the thought, in the mental body. It's like you're running in circles up here and you're kind of attracting all of this chaotic energy at the thought level because it needs to quiet down. It needs to calm down. You need some mental quiet time, basically, and that can be really hard. Meditation is one of the tools to do that. Breathing exercises, guided meditations can be great. Even just listening to like ASMR bedtime stories or something like that can help your mind to focus on one thing and to calm down. Even doing like household tasks and things like that can help your mind to calm down, or at least it can help you to get clear. But it feels like you need a mental rest, basically. So I'm going to put some Reiki here into the third eye chakra and through the crown as well. They're doing some activations, is what they're guiding me to do. So activating through the crown chakra and the third eye, that will have a positive impact on the solar plexus as well. Some of it's moving down to the solar plexus because that's more of a symptomatic issue. This is more of the root. So we need to clear the identification with the energy that is out of alignment with you. That's really the issue here. It's like your frequency is tuned to that. And so we just want to get it back tuned to the radio station that is more aligned. Yeah, so, all right. There we go. Yeah, so major attunements here, because you were on this radio station frequency that was like static and like death metal music, basically. Like it's like, and there's just too much going on that frequency. Let's get it back over to something nice and soothing. You can have some mental rest, you know, metaphorically speaking. So that should help. Let me know how that goes. If you need any additional support with that, or if you want a full-on reading, I would recommend the soul realignment readings. They're super in-depth. We go into a whole bunch of different soul aspects and things like that, and we can get specific information on the programs that maybe you may be working with mentally, how to clear them, what your soul type is, and what you need to embody that as well. So anyways, okay, guys, if you're sending more donations, I really appreciate it, but I'm cutting it off. So I just want to work with the ones that I have here now. Otherwise I'll be here all night and my energy is a little kind of iffy today anyway, so I don't want to push myself too hard. So thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. But I'll try to get to the ones that I have here. So M. Reed is next. Hello. I love the energy here. Thank you. I'd love an energy reading if you're still doing them. Thank you. Okay. You're so welcome. Thank you for saying thank you. M. Reed. Okay, so let's take a look in and see. Again, I'm going to cleanse really quickly. Oh, this one's almost out. I've got like none left. There we go. Okay. M. Reed, let's take a look at your energy and see. It's so funny, I saw like a big princess ball gown, like spinning in you know, in a circle. You know, when you're wearing a big dress and you're spinning and it's kind of like flowing out from you like that. So I don't know if you're like big into princesses or you know someone who is or something, but let me get more information before I start to speculate, because my logical, rational mind always wants to jump to, oh, what does this mean? But they're like, no, just look for more information first. Okay, so yeah, it's like this energy sort of exuding out from around you, basically, is what that represents. The energy of the princess dress, I think. It's like having this beautiful energy sort of spiraling out all around you. It feels good. It feels expansive. It feels like you're expanding your energy at this time. So let's do some work to assist you with that. Oh, I see a beautiful purple light in your field. So you've got, it's like that sort of deep, sort of indigo purple, which is usually connected to the third eye chakra. Not always, but yeah, it's like you've got this really expansive type of energy, and you're expanding it out even more. So your energy field is actually widening. So you might have been consciously working on this, or it might just be happening sort of at soul level. But whatever it is, it's like you are expanding your consciousness to a large degree. And you might be doing so because it showed me that indigo color. You might be doing so, lots of expansion. Okay, good. You might be doing so by expanding your mind, because that third eye is connected to the mind, your inner vision, truth, your sense of clarity. So as you gain clarity, as you gain awareness, as you gain truth, more information through that mental space, you're able to expand your energy out more. I talk about this in the soul realignment sessions with clients, where I talk about the soul vibration rate. Soul vibration rate is a product of your state of consciousness. As your consciousness expands, going from condensed to expanded, condensed being identifying purely at the level of ego, and expanded being having a multidimensional awareness of self. As you expand that further and further out, that multidimensional awareness, that sense of self, that connectivity with the universe and all things, you expand your energy out. So that vibration increases as well, and your energy can really physically grow. So let me see if there's anything else that's needed here in that domain. I see an hourglass, but it's like one of those beautiful hourglasses that are, you know, oh, they're just like really intricate and ornate. And you had that princess dress on there. So this could also be something that you're activating or integrating from a past life, because both of these sort of symbols are very sort of old. You know, they have like this really nice sort of antique feeling to them, like 15th, 16th century, something like that. I don't know. But M. Reed, yeah, there might be something that you're bringing back from a past life into this one, some knowledge, a skill, an awareness, clearing of karmic patterns. I don't know, but it's like you have this very sort of regal air about you, and it could be connected to a lifetime where you were affluent in the monarchy. I don't know, something like that. Who knows? Without going into too much detail, just interpreting the symbols as best I can. That's what I have for you. So hopefully that helps. Keep expanding your energy out by expanding your consciousness, broaden your mind, your concept of self, everything else will follow. All right. And also last thing before I go, they wanted to mention that the hourglass represents obviously time, but it represents infinite time as well, right? Because as you turn the hourglass, it resets. So it's like there's no time limit. It's like you have infinite time. If you turn the hourglass sideways, it's the infinity, the lemniscate. So this represents connection to the universe, cycles of time as well, and going through these different cycles. And cycles, and now they're reminding me that the initial image that I saw was of you kind of spinning, right? So again, cycles, natural cycles, and expansion through those cycles. Okay, so I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your donation. Okay, Anita's here. Anita's one of my longtime subscribers and clients. We've worked intimately together doing Reiki and soul realignment and all that good stuff. So Anita, let's see what's going on for you. Let me just quickly just disconnect my energy there and start to connect into you. Okay, Anita, right away, it's like a punch in the gut. It's more so in the solar plexus, or sorry, in the, yeah, it is solar plexus region, but it's bridging into the sacral as well. So Anita, if you're still here, let me know. Yeah, it's like, it feels like you've taken a hit of some kind. Maybe this is like an actual thing, like an event that happened. Or it could be like, what's the word? Like, you've kind of, well, we worked with this before. I don't want to get too personal here, but where you are still here. Okay, so Anita, it feels like there's a bit of depletion here in the stomach. So stomach being, like I said, the solar plexus and the sacral. And that's the region I'm feeling here. It's kind of like being punched in the stomach. It's like having the wind knocked out of you. And I know that you've struggled with energy, you've struggled with motivation, you've struggled with consistency, you've struggled with like not beating yourself up along this path because you've had a lot to contend with. So I feel like, well, let me just do some work here first to kind of alleviate some of this, because it's very disorienting. The energy itself feels very, it's like being punched in the gut. It's like you can't breathe, you can't think straight. You're just kind of like trying to survive in that moment, and it's painful. So that's kind of what I'm feeling from you. Let's do some Reiki, okay? Let's do some Reiki to support you, because I feel like that's what you need. You just need a loving hand. There we go. Move that energy out through the root, okay? Because you don't deserve to feel like that. You don't deserve to suffer in that kind of pain. You don't deserve to be treated in that way. If you're treating yourself that way, or if someone else is treating you that way, it feels like being punched in the gut, having the wind knocked out of you. You don't deserve that, okay? And I've said that before, I'll say it again, I'll never stop saying it. You don't deserve to be treated poorly. You deserve to thrive, not just survive. You deserve to be empowered. You deserve to have energy. You deserve to live a life in alignment. That's what you came here to do. Okay? Is to experience yourself as your highest expression in a physical body. It's not easy to do, but it can be done. But to first know what you are, you first have to experience what you are not. So the disempowered aspect, scattered. Yeah, it feels very scattered. It's kind of like you're in that survival mode. So I want to, like I said, anchoring that down. And thank you, Jade 1111, for sending positive vibes as well to Anita. Thank you. That's so appreciated, and it is very helpful. Okay, so let's together we'll help Anita to ground that energy, to move through that, to anchor. It feels like there's a needing to anchor. Yeah, that's the most important thing, is anchoring that energy so that you can feel more stable and then more safe, because stability equals safety. Okay, my phone is 10% warning, so I'm gonna do as much as I can here. Anita, I'm gonna finish up doing some Reiki activations here in the torso region. So we're gonna put some power into those two chakras, really charging those up, okay? Helping with feeling able to assert yourself, able to move forward, able to have the energy that you need, able to ground. Okay, that's the dominant energy that I want to provide right now for you to access within yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and consciously work with that energy as I move the power there. Okay, good. And you're doing a good job, as always. Okay, I know sometimes it feels like it's a struggle, and I know you beat yourself up a lot. I don't want to call you out too hard here, but you know, you're doing a good job. Okay, you're always doing your best. That's all that matters. All right, your best changes from day to day, and I love you. Okay, so let's see. Thank you so much, Anita, for being here and for donating. Okay, and Kelly Gates. Hey, if you're still going, I'd like an energy reading and general insight. Okay, hello, Kelly Gates. Let's take a look at your energy. You're so welcome, Anita. It's always a pleasure to connect with you. All right, so Kelly Gates. Okay, Kelly, I see someone like stomping, you know, like a giant, like fee, fi, fo, fum. It's like this representation of this like big, heavy energy in the feet, like really kind of making your presence known. I'm not sure if this is you or this is someone you know who's maybe stomped into your life and feels like they're dominating or kind of taking over or something like that. But it's also like this energy of maybe that's needed for you, where you can start to stand up for yourself and make yourself big and kind of take up space, basically. If someone is taking up space in your life and it's disruptive, then that's what needs to be addressed. If you need to take up space to feel powerful, then that's what's needed here as well. But it feels like, you know, it's like when you're big and in your power like that, and you take one step, it can be massively huge. It can feel like a small step in the moment, but it's if you think like a giant who takes one step, it's going to be a lot further of a distance than somebody who's, you know, my height, 5'2". It's not going to, one step is not going to get me very far in the physical sense. So it's like, make yourself bigger, take up space, because that way, when you take one step, it's going to get you a lot further ahead. So I hope that that makes sense, but that's what they're saying. So take up space. Okay, Kelly? Jade 1111. Oh, you were there sending energy. So thank you, Jade. Let's do some work on you now. So Jade, let's see what's coming through for you. Crown. Crown on your head. Usually when I see the crown on the head, it's an indication of the crown chakra, or it can also be about rulership, being in your empowerment or being in a position of power, maybe leadership in some way. It can also indicate being self-sovereign and free. So having the ability to govern your life, your empire, your whatever, right? So basically this crown energy is not only indicating the crown chakra is needing to be worked with right now or to be empowered, but it's also that aspect of spirit that gives you that divine sovereignty, or that is your divine sovereignty to be able to rule your life. You know, you are the creator of your life, and so that makes you the queen of your kingdom, the king of your kingdom, the emperor of your empire, etc. So work with that energy, Jade, and create from that place of sovereignty. Really, really important here, because you are in a position of power within your own life, and it could also be indicating to get into or to make advancements towards a position of power, because it's like you have this divine right to rule, if that makes sense. Now, of course, ruling is usually not something that people who are actually meant to rule want to do. It's like people who are meant to rule don't want to rule, but that's why you need to rule, is because you don't want it, and you would be best at it because it comes from a place of authenticity and from the heart. So live from authenticity. Your divine self-expression will speak for itself. Let's see, anything else here? Yeah, I see the heart being expanded and opened up in a really big way, and that's what gives you that divine sovereignty. It's really through that awareness of unity consciousness. It's divine love, and it's connection to all things. So that's why it's like a king or queen who rules from the heart is divinely aligned, and therefore they have the sovereignty to rule in that way because they are a representation of the divine in that essence. And so who better to rule than somebody who expresses those qualities or those traits? And so that's why they're emphasizing it's like leading from the heart. The lion heart is what I'm seeing. So it's almost like the connection with like oh, who was that? The lion heart? I know that there was a king who was called the lion heart. But yeah, it's basically the representation is ruling from the heart, ruling from compassion, ruling from understanding and wanting to serve, because that's what a ruler actually does. That's what a leader actually does, is they're there to help to serve. They're there to help to support and protect. And whether you're doing that for yourself in your life, with your friends and family, or within your work, it's really all about your power and your sovereignty. That's what's being highlighted at this time for you. So I hope that that helps. Thank you so much, Jade, for your contribution. I really, really appreciate that so much, so much. Okay, and lastly, we have Doglicious Spa. I love that name. Richard, thank you, artsy girl, Marilyn. Yeah, Richard the Lionheart. So yeah, I don't know if that has any related context or what, but that was the kind of the theme. Okay, so Doglicious Spa, I have a heavy and very hard week, but I'm holding my head high. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Anything you can energetically provide would be greatly appreciated. Okay, well, perfect. Let's give you a little boost here. Doglicious Spa, and I love the little picture of the dog with the flower in its mouth, or a toy or something. Okay, Tammy, yes, beautiful. Okay, thank you, Tammy. All right, so last but not least, let's go ahead and tune into you, Tammy, and see what energy is needed at this time for you to support you through the hard week that you've had, so that you can feel rejuvenated. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. It's like you need, it's like you've got spa in your name, in the handle that you use here, and it's like you need a rejuvenating refresh, a cleanse. Really getting some of that old energy from that. It feels, yeah, it's like, it feels like you've been carrying a lot of bags on your back, and it's heavy, and you've been on the road for a long time, and it's like the straps are cut into your shoulders. That's what I'm seeing. And it's like you're dirty from the road, and it's been a long slog, and it's like you need a refresh. You need to put the bags down, have a bath, you know, literally or figuratively, but energetically we're going to do that now. Okay, so I'm going to just shower with Reiki energy. Okay, so we're going to put that Reiki there all over. So I'm starting at the crown and then moving down the body all around. Okay, so that's going to help to clear any of that heaviness, of that accumulated dirt and debris, any of those, you know, that feeling of kind of being depleted. We're going to flush that away and allow you to feel fresh and clean. You know, it's like after a hard day, you come home, you have a shower, you feel still tired, but you feel clean, more rejuvenated. You're able to then rest easier. So that's basically what we're doing at soul level, at energy level. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit more here. The back of the heart chakra specifically. The back is the will center. So this is kind of like your willingness to connect to the energy of love, to take things on. And usually the back represents burdens that we've taken on, things that we've taken on, obligations, responsibilities, things like that. Like I said, they showed me that representation of you carrying a lot of bags on your back. So that's usually an indication of responsibilities that you're carrying that are heavy. They're kind of weighing you down. There's Kitty. She's come to say hi. So we want to just give you time to take those off. You can put them back on when you need to, or go through the pack and unload some stuff that you don't need to be carrying, right? You can always have the option to do that. But it's really crucial, really important that you allow yourself time and space to be able to take the load off. Really super important. Okay, I'm gonna put some healing through time here to help you in the weeks to come, because I feel like this is kind of like an ongoing thing, or it's been an ongoing thing. This week in particular, like you said, it's been tough, but I feel like this is kind of, it's been building up for a while. And so I want to send energy forward so that you are more able or inclined to listen to what your body needs, to listen to what your energy needs, so that you're not pushing yourself based on other people's expectations, obligations, or any perceived sense of responsibility. Of course, there's going to be things that are unavoidable, but it's really important to prioritize appropriately and make sure that you are at the top of your priority list. Because if you put yourself even second or even last, it's not going to be as effective, right? Because then you can't help the people that you want to help. You can't do the things that you want to do. So you do have to prioritize yourself first and foremost, and then be able to work with the rest of your priorities, the rest of your responsibilities, things that are on the back, right? Okay. So yeah, putting that energy into next week and beyond. Okay. And just gonna make sure that everything's tuned up here and cleansed. Okay, activating the root chakra, get all of that energy out, flow, flow, flow. That's because it's like if you're having a shower but you don't have the drain unplugged, then it's just gonna all pool around your feet. So you want to make sure that you're bringing the energy in through the top and then out through the feet, right? So you've got a drain, an outlet for that energy to be excreted down into the earth, out through your roots. That's really important. And you can do this through visualization. 5-minute meditation will do this, so but the Reiki, of course, is really, really hugely beneficial as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you here today. Thank you so much, everyone who attended, who donated. If I missed anyone, I'm gonna have to go back and kind of go through everything. If I missed anyone, I will send the Reiki remotely to you. Kitty is scratching on the chair. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate your support, your time here, and the connection that we have within this community. I'm really, truly grateful. So I love you, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye, Kitty.